What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Today it's going to be a long one. Fuel vent valve finally came in. Here's the part number. I'll go ahead and link it down in the description if you are having this type of issue, being that you can't fill your car without the nozzle kicking off after like 5 or 6 cents or whatever you're putting in your car. Super pumped on that. Not so pumped on what I have to do. Basically, to replace that, we have to remove the entire rear subframe section of the car where we can drop the tank enough to put that thing in there. So it's going to be a long day. To start with, we're going to remove the exhaust. We're going to take these 2 bolts out here that connect the exhaust to the downpipe, and we're going to take that whole section out all the way. Push it over to the side. Once the exhaust is out of the way, we'll work on getting these bolts here and this little cover dropped. We'll move that out of the way. Then we'll be able to take the drive shaft loose from the rear diff. There's also 2 little bolts here we got to take out. Lower it down. I'm going to try not to remove from the transmission, but we'll see how that goes. After that's done, we're going to take the rear wheels off and start getting the brakes and everything disassembled or removed from the hub and work on pulling that whole knuckle out, and then we'll move on to the rear diff. Yep, that's a good starting point. Battery's dead. That's no fun. No flashing. Now we'll lose the bolts. Now we're gonna get the heat shield off. Now we're going to work on getting the these drive shaft bolts out. I don't know if this is a balanced system or not, so I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of tape or one of my Sharpie markers or something like that and mark the bottom here so I know how to put it back in. Boop. Okay, you guys, I went ahead and pulled the drive shaft completely out. It came out a lot easier than I thought it was going to, which was nice. One thing to note, if you're doing this, put the e-brake on and undo 2 of the bolts or 2 of the nuts that sit on the bottom. Release the e-brake, twist the drive shaft until the other 2 nuts show, and then pull those out. That made it a lot easier. But yeah, pull those out, and then there's 2 14mm bolts that hold the centerpiece. The whole thing dropped, and then you gently slide it forward, and it came out really easily. I think now what I'm going to do is move out to the rear wheels. I need to pull them off, pop the center caps off, put them back on temporarily where I can break the axle nuts loose from the CV axles here, and then take the tire back off and go from there. Whoop, whoop. Right now they got the wheel off and the axle nut and everything is loose. We're going to go ahead and take off the brake caliper, disconnect the lateral link from the sway bar here, and go ahead and pull out the bolts right here holding the strut to the knuckle, and that should give us enough room to be able to smooth out the knuckle with the brake disc and everything on it. Pull the CV axle out, and then we'll be able to move to the other side. After that, it should move pretty quickly. There's only like 6 bolts or something holding in, 3 on each side, and the whole subframe should drop down. Alright, now we're going to take and remove the 8 bolts here. There's 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, and 4 on the bottom. We're going to have the little Duralast jack over there. We're going to put it underneath the rear diff, and then we'll take out the final 2 up here, lower the rear diff down, get it out of the way, and then we should be able to drop this entire rear subframe. Getting close. Woo. That was questionable at best. Rear diff out. I would highly recommend to have 2 people doing this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, subframe's out of the car, and it looks like I need to disconnect this hose here. This is the filler neck hose. This hose right here, it's some type of vent, and let's see, a couple of these hoses back here because they got hard lines on them, and I don't want to bend the hard lines. So I'm going to disconnect those, pull out these 2 12mm bolts on the tank straps, and have my jack and everything set up underneath it. And what I'm going to try to do is just lower it down enough to where I can get this vent valve. It sits right here. There's a little solenoid right there, and the vent valve is just on the back side of that. So what I'm going to try to do is just lower it down enough to where I don't have to drop it completely, and see if that works. Not 100% if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. Alright, since we're not able to just kind of lower the tank like I wanted to, we're going to have to remove this outrigger section. 6 bolts total. There's 2 12mm here and a 17. Same on the other side. And this whole section will come down. And there's one e-brake cable
12 mil right here. You should be able to just remove one side to give you enough slack to get this out. Yep. That'll work. Here we go. All right, so I made a little cradle thing just out of some spare wood and stuff I had laying around. Nothing perfect or anything, but it should be enough to evenly distribute the weight over my jack here with the tank, so it's not sitting at like a weird angle or anything like that. All right, it's set up. Everything's pulled out like it needs to be. Just time to lower it. I would be lying if I said I wasn't rather nervous. All right, y'all. It's down. Whoop! That was a little nerve-wracking, not gonna lie. Okay, so the vent valve, the piece that we need to fix, or replace rather, if you follow this hose up, sits right in here, so we gotta take this cover off. All right, that little plate's off that I was talking about. There's 4 8 mil, 2 studs here, 2 studs on the back side, and then 1 9 mil right here. A little cover pops off. We have some little pinch clips right here and right here. We can pull those off, and there are 3 8 mil little studs right there. We'll pull those out, and that whole piece should come out with no problem. All right, here we got the old one out. Got the new one going in. Just got the 4 bolts, and it'll be good to go. A lift would be fantastic right now because working in this position is not fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the tank is now reinstalled. Lots of work, lots of work. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video here, you guys. It was kind of dark. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video here. It's getting late, kind of tired. Hopefully by the end of this week, let's see, this week, whenever this video comes out, hopefully within the next few days, the second portion of it will be out. That'll be me installing the rear diff and the subframe and little cross member here, back there, as well as getting the coilovers put on. So I got a fair amount of work left. It should go pretty quickly. Reassembly doesn't usually take quite as long as disassembly, so yeah. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Go ahead and tag the subscription button if you have not already, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Laters.